All right, here we go. I'm going to get past this rockiness, and I'm just picking my way nice and easy, trying not to go off the edge.
Hey, my friends, rock on. I'm out here in the Mojave Desert, and I'm here because 21 years ago, this month, I tried to climb a mountain, and I failed. It's not that mountain exactly, but it's part of that range. And ever since I failed, I have always wanted to go back and try it again. And so the last 21 years, I've been preparing. I've been thinking about getting to the summit, what I'm going to see and what I'm going to do. I plan to camp up there, live off my bike for a day or two, and enjoy it. Now, there's a lot of reasons why this may not go well. The weather has been shit, and there's a lot of washouts, and it's really cold. I am bundled up hard, and not the least of which is because it's scary. I'm feeling fear, I'm feeling doubt, and that comes with adventure, I think. But I've done my best to mitigate that. I've got the right bike here. I've got all the right gear. I've got my lucky bunny, and I'm going to give it a go. So, of all the 100 reasons that this may not work out, regret is not going to be one of them. I'm not going to regret not trying. So I may not get further than this by much, but I am going to try. And if I don't do it, I'm going to try again, because fear and doubt are not going to stop me. I'll listen to them, but I'm going to give it a go. Wish me luck. All right, so this is the entrance to the hard stuff. This is called South Park Loop. Now I've got 3 goals here. The very first time I ever tried this route, I made it about a quarter mile before I crashed because it was rough and rocky and intense, and I just did not have the skill for it. I have gone back since, and I made it about 4.5 miles up. And I didn't have to stop because I ran out of gas. I stopped because I didn't want to go all the way to the top until it was ready to stay the night and had all my equipment. And at the time I didn't. So my first goal is to make it past a quarter mile. My second goal is to make it up to and past the 4.5 mile point, and then all the way through uncharted territory to the top. Here we go.
It's time to climb this mountain. Woo! I'm currently at 1,054 feet. Bike is running. Off we go. All right. It's as rocky as I remember, but I remember it getting a lot rockier than this later on. So we'll see when that happens. Right now it's pretty hard packed. It looks intimidating. It's typical on stuff like this, you know, when it's just kind of rocky, but the rocks are pretty well tamped in. Now it's getting really bumpy, rolly, which I'm also starting to remember. But I remember it also being a lot looser, and I don't think it was here. I think it's later on we're going to contend with that. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's really bumpy. Whew. I can see why I only made it about a quarter mile in last time. This is intense. I don't know how it looks on camera, but there is an elevation change happening. I'm at about 1,100 feet now. 1,200 feet. All right, I'm first through the first rocky little traversal. Still climbing. All right, you can see where the water has carved out a lot here and there. It has been raining up here, and there is a lot of water in the valley, more than I've ever seen. But right now it's dry here. More rocks, more bumps. And the key here is that I look way ahead so I can pick a line that will minimize all the bumps and bops that I'm going to get. And then I'm staying nice and light on the bars so that as I climb and the handlebars have to ziggity zag as they go over terrain, I'm not interfering. I have to interfere a little bit. I don't want it to go too far out of whack. But generally, I'm just letting the bike dance. I'm up on the pegs, which is keeping it well balanced. It's keeping me well balanced. And up I go. Ooh, man, my heart's pounding. This is nerve-wracking. Okay, I'm coming up around my first corner here. Oh, it is beautiful. I love it. I want to stop at some point and show you, but I don't want to stop. Oh, God, it's getting really burly up here. I got to focus. Oh, major humps and bumps. I shouldn't be in second gear for this. I should put it in first. Oh, had to stall out there. All right, I'm in first gear now. Now I got to get going on a hill. I'm at about 1,500 feet now. And I'm going to stall a few times. I need to take a break. Just relax, Sean. You can do this. Okay, I'm out of the big hump. Now, the mistake a lot of people make on hill climbs like this is that they will rev the RPMs way up and then start letting out the clutch to get moving. And that's a mistake because you can damage the clutch. So I have to keep the RPMs at under 3,000 and ease my clutch out. And that'll protect the clutch while allowing me to get some movement. But it does mean that I'm going to probably stall more often. Here I go. That was about 2,200 RPM. All right, I made it. Up around the switchback here. All right, I'm up and through. Start a little hint to the valley over there. It's so pretty. It's one of the bummers about working this hard is that I don't have a lot of time to stand around and enjoy the view. I got to focus on the climb. So the time to see the sights will come eventually. Right now, I'm just trying to keep this monster upright. Oh, wow. All right, I have to stop for this. It is stunning. Just stunning up here. It's a special reward when you get to look at this from way up here where so few people get to enjoy it. But you and I are enjoying it. And that's fine with me. All right, it's time to continue this climb. I'm at about 1,600 feet now. All right, off we go. Really rutted, bumpy. Another big switchback coming up. I can't take it at any real speed. It's just too hard to get a good line in this bump. Better riders probably could, but not I. Ooh, get the rear end kicked out a little bit, but it's holding together. Ooh, really rutted. Big bump coming up. I stalled it. That's okay. I'm scared. I'm excited. I'm where I need to be. And I'm glad you're here with me. Here we go. I did not pick the best line. That is for sure. But I'm still moving. So there's something to be said for that. And my forearms are getting pumped. I'll have to stop and take a break at some point just to replenish my energy. All right, over to the rocks. Here we go. All right, it's flattened out a little bit. I'm going to find a nice spot to stop here. Oh, I just felt that skid plate get a beating. I'm stopping right here. I'm going to go up a little bit further. A little bit further, and then I'll stop. Oh, I should have stopped sooner. I'm getting pumped, but I'm still climbing. Currently at just under 2,000 feet. All right, I got some flats coming up. I'm definitely going to stop, grab some water, and replenish my energy. Oh! Here's my spot up here to stop.
All right, I'm about 2.5 miles in, and then I'm about 2,000 feet. It was a brutal climb. It was really rocky, really rutted, big drop-offs, but the bike's done great. I'm feeling okay. I'm really worn out. My forearms are super pumped, and I always tell people, like, you got to stay relaxed on your upper body. You got to keep your hands relaxed, but there's just points when the bike is bucking and hopping so much that you're just holding on so tight you can't help it. So I have to take a break. So I'm going to stop, get some water, and enjoy it. I just want you to enjoy this view with me. It's so beautiful. Check this out. So this is the Panamint Valley the way most people never see it. 2,000 feet up on a road that is less traveled. It's actually pretty wet here. I'm not used to seeing it this wet. And it's pretty cool to see all the water here. They've had a lot of rain. So bike's doing great. Let's take a break and then keep on climbing.
Fatigue is a killer out here. This is one of the problems I have riding with people, is that, you know, you're challenged by better riders, and I do like that, but it also means that I will push myself sometimes beyond what I should. My pride outweighs my skill package. So it's one of the reasons I like doing this alone, is that I'm going at my own pace. I have to only really mitigate the fact that I'm just really excited to try to get to the top. So I've got to take my time. I got another break coming up in a couple miles. Let's keep going. All right, I'm at 2,000 feet, continuing my climb. All right. A little rocky, not too bad. The road is smooth now. It's giving me a bit of a break from the craziness. And I'll take it. Now, I don't know how well you can see it, but there's a road ahead of me that is really steep, and it ziggity zags its way up toward the top. And if you saw it and didn't know any better, you'd think that was the only route, and it's not something I want to take. But luckily, it's not the only route. There's another road that goes right around it, and is a little more forgiving on a 600-pound motorcycle plus rider and gear. So I'll be taking the other routes. All right. Once again, a little rutted, but pretty hard packed. I see up ahead the rocks get a little looser. I'm going to try to stay on the track that's got a little bit more hard pack in it. We'll see how that serves me. So far, so good. The road is reasonably forgiving on this section. Big switchback coming up. All right, the climb is getting steeper. And steeper still. And a little rockier as it gets steeper. But manageable still. All right, I'm coming up on 2,400 feet. Now I got a steep switchback coming up. Damn, and I kind of hung up on something. There, I'm past it now. I got a technical little bumpity bump coming up here. I'll try to get up enough speed to get past it without falling over. Not getting the momentum I want. Oh, there it is. I got it. It was close, but I got it. More ruts, totally manageable. Just a little bit of momentum. Sean, you spoke too soon, fella. All right, another switchback coming up. Try to take this one a little wider than the last one. Nothing to it. If I look ahead and find my line, it's even easier if I keep my momentum, which I managed to do this time. All right, the terrain has changed a little bit. The composition of the rocks is a little different. This looks like backfill to me. I feel like maybe this washed out and they came in and cleaned it up a bit. Either way, I'm happy they did it. I was just reading recently about how they had a landslide out here. I don't think that was it. I just went over, but it does happen quite a bit. And there's a group of truckers, jeepers that come out here and they keep the place clean and nice, dual sport riders, and they just quietly maintain the trail so that we can all enjoy it. I super appreciate those folks. I have to remind myself to relax. I can feel my forearms getting pumped again. Off-camber switchback. Oh, it gets a little crazy. There we go. This is the situations where you have to be really light on the bars. You're doing those switchbacks, and it's really tight, and it's rocky, and the bike is pitching all over the place. And if you're too stiff on the handlebars, then all of those movements will make you lurchy jerk the throttle, and that is a super bad scene. All right, I'm topped out at 2,700 feet, almost 2,800. And now I'm going down a little bit as we actually enter the canyon. So far we've just been climbing the mountain, and we're going to go in between the saddle between this and another mountain. I'm just picking my way nice and easy. I'm in first gear. I'm just letting the RPMs carry me down. And here's the rock slide I heard so much about. Look at that. So here's a rock slide they talked about online, and covered up the trail. People have come in and cleaned it up. The route that I have to take is kind of on the outside edge, which is a bit of a bummer because it's right next to a pretty big drop off. So I'm just gonna noodle my way through. Me and the missus, there she is, anxious to get going. And let's give this a go. Wish me luck. Oh, I can feel all the things I should have been stretching, doing my exercises before this ride. All right, here we go. I'm gonna get past this rockiness, and I'm just picking my way nice and easy, trying not to go off the edge. And I have succeeded. I haven't heard about any more landslides beyond this one on the forums. We shall see. All right, time for my next climb. It's starting to get slushy. What I mean by slushy is the rock turns into more like river rock. The edges of it get more rounded. So the rocks don't interlock together as well when they're smoother. And that means that your wheels kind of bury into them rather than right on top of them. So it's the next challenge of the day. So far so good though. Still reasonably hard packed here and there. But I know that this isn't the end of it. I've still got a little over a mile to go before I get as far as I've been. I'm currently at 2,700 feet and climbing. Whoop! Slippery, slippery. I can really feel the rear end starting to bury in and get slushy. I'm also feeling the heat. The temperature's up to 50 degrees Fahrenheit now. But in my case, I've got a lot of layers on because the ride out here was pretty cold. So at some point I'm going to have to stop and take some of this off. Oh, I'm getting the rear end is getting really stuck. Oh, but I'm still moving forward. I can see somebody created an alternate route because this was so slushy that it wasn't very easily rideable or drivable. But I took the original route, and I did okay. I'm not going to win any awards, but I didn't do bad. I'm going to stop before the next climb here. I turn off my heated grips because they are really hot. I may as well turn off my heated seat too because I'm not really sitting down. All right, that's better. 2,873 feet currently, 1.2 miles to as far as I've ever been. Oh boy. Some really big step-ups. If you're on two-wheel vehicle, you can get around them a lot easier than on four-wheel. If there is a way around. So far, there's nothing that is unnavigable for me. Oh, it's really getting fluffy and rocky. So I got a switchback coming up. Not too bad a switchback. I just saw some burro poop. There's a lot of wild donkeys or burros that live out here. And they're back from the prospecting days where prospectors would die and they get loose, or they'd get away, or they'd let them go. And they propagated out here. So now there's wild burros here and there, and every once in a while you'll see their poop, and every once in a while still you'll see them. We'll see if we run into any while we're doing all this. Oh man, that is rocky stuff. Rocky stuff. The canyon's getting really narrow too. You can see how you'd be nervous on four wheels trying to get through some of these spots because they're slender. But you can't call it anything but beautiful, if not treacherous. Okay, it's getting much rockier. I gotta change tracks. And I stalled out. I suppose I should have seen that coming. Stalled out again. All right, I'm moving. I'm 1 mile away from my next waypoint. I'm at just over 3,000 feet in elevation. Still 50 degrees Fahrenheit, although I feel like it's 80. I see what looks like the remnants of an old prospecting mine. See how these rocks up on my left are set up in a certain way. It's like they had a road that carried you up that way, but it's abandoned now. Here comes a climb. Well, that's a big climb. I need to focus. Oh, and I'm losing momentum. Damn it. I lost momentum. I gotta get started on a climb. Shake it out. Come on, Sean Thomas. You got this. My rear end is hung up on something, so I have to get over that hump. Damn it. Good thing about getting in a rut is it's easy to put my feet down. There we go. I'm out of the hump. Come on, Sean Thomas. Oh, that was almost a tip over. Oh, almost another tip over. My adrenaline is spiked. I'm okay. I'm in the right track now. I think I can get going. Okay. All right, good. Okay. 0.9 miles to my next waypoint. I'm at 3250 elevation. I'm tired. I'm hot. But the trail is having pity on me, and this section is relatively, well, less aggressive. There's so much washout, it's almost hard to see the trail, but I got eyes on it. You know that feeling when you finish a cool adventure and you're really excited about it, you can't wait to brag about it. But if you think honestly back, if it was really something that impressive, then in the moment, when you're in the middle of the adventure, there are times when you're scared, feeling defeated, feeling worn out, feeling unsure. And I can tell you, I feel some of those things. I'm feeling them today. But also, that's kind of what makes it worth telling the story later. If it was easy, where's the fun? Where's the accomplishment? I want the challenge. I want a challenge I'm not sure I can manage. I want to try. Now I'm doing it on something that some of you are looking at this going, that's super easy, and good for you. And some of you are going, I would never do that, and good for you. I think the point is not that you take on this in order to be challenged. I think the point is that you take on something that challenges you, even if it's something that other people say, that's easy, or that's too hard. You know, the first time you ride a motorcycle ever, it's a challenge. The first time you ride on busy streets, or in the rain, or at night, or on the freeway, that's a challenge. That stuff is scary. But doing it makes you feel like you've achieved something. And later, when you've got that achievement under your belt, and it's time to try taking on something more challenging, you know that at least you've gotten this far. And you know you can push yourself further, if you want. If you want to get it. Half mile now from my next waypoint, I'm at 3,700 feet. The road has gotten much easier, relatively. It's still slushy. The bike is still dancing and prancing, but it's manageable. I'm feeling okay about it. I just smacked the edge of my rim pretty hard on something. I heard it go chunk, but those are the kind of sounds you hear when you say, uh-oh, hope I didn't damage something. But it feels good. I'm not getting any warnings on my display telling me that I've got a low tire, so I don't think I smacked it hard enough to do any real damage. 0.2 miles to my next waypoint and my next big break. Still a lot of sagebrush out here. I think that's what that is. At home, it looks like manzanita from home. All right, looks looking good. And look what we have here. We have some cabins. I'm really happy to be showing you this. These are very, very cool cabins. Go ahead and work my way up. Come to a stop right here. Oh, and that's where I fall. See you in a bit.